Welcome to Suncoast Fyi. I'm your host, Nancy O'Neill, and today I'm joined by Tim Yeager and Marcus Atkins from the Ringling College of Art and Design, Stephanie Sundin from the Sarasota Opera, and Ron Soto from the Sarasota Downtown Merchants Group, right here on Suncoast Fyi. My first two guests are Tim Yeager, the Director and Chief Curator of Ringling College's Galleries and Exhibitions, and Marcus Atkins, the President of the Ringling College's Veterans Club. They're joining me now to discuss the upcoming third annual War Paint exhibition that aims to honor our brave individuals who have served our country. Welcome, good morning.
Good morning, thanks for having us.
Of course. So this is always a fun time of the year, serious time of the year for us, but the college does such an amazing job, and first, thank you on behalf of all of the veterans that are in your club, and Tim is putting on this amazing show with a lot of pieces that we'd all look forward to seeing. So War Paint, it's Profiles in Courage, of course. Tim, what's that all about?
Well, let me try to paint a picture of what this exhibition is all about. So we asked our students and student veterans to paint portraits of local veterans. And so what this looks like when you walk into the gallery is we've painted the walls, we have stars on the floor. It's beautiful, beautiful space. But the paintings themselves are all 10 by 10 portraits. And so this year we have 50 portraits of our veterans that range from every branch of the military. Mm-hmm. And we're really excited to open this and share this with the public on Veterans Day on November 11th. That coincides with our all-campus art walk from 5 to 8 p.m. at Ringling College of Art and Design. So this exhibition is just amazing because it's such a hybrid of talent, but also connectivity, in that we are introducing art to so many different types of people, but also that our students are sharing their respect for our veterans and our country. And so we're really honored to have that on view and to share the stories with everybody who comes in through the doors.
So all of the portraits were done by students of veterans?
That's correct.
Are you one of the artists that did a portrait, Marcus, or did somebody paint your portrait?
My portrait was painted in the last year's exhibition.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of pull myself away from that, and now that I'm wearing the hat of president, to kind of oversee how everybody else's portraits are getting into the gallery and making sure that they're being honored. I've had my chance to be honored, and now I just wanted to make sure everybody else got that opportunity as well.
Thank you. So Tim, in addition to War Paint, Profiles in Courage, what else can our guests expect on campus that evening?
My gosh, it's a wonderful time to finally come out in person, and hopefully the weather will cooperate with us on the 11th. But the way that looks is it's free and open to the public. It's family friendly. It's from 5 to 8 p.m. We have multiple venues on campus that will be open. We have the landscapes of Lee Meyer. We have, as you mentioned, War Paint, Profiles of Courage. We have the Illest of Ill, which is the best of the best of our illustration department.
Yeah,
this is all
amazing.
Student work, by the way, and alumni work. So if you're curious about what Ringling is doing right now, it's a good time to join us for this. So that's the Illest of Ill in the Lois and David Stolberg Gallery. And then if you walk across campus in the Willis Smith Gallery, we have on view an exhibition called Head to Toe, which is fashions from the 1960s, 70s, 80s, and examples of that. And this is a student-curated exhibition through the business of art and design. So if you're into fashion, this is a wonderful exhibition not to miss.
Okay. Is it going to be 2D and 3D? Are there actually costumes there, or is it just
Oh
going
yeah,
to be?
yeah.
Oh.
So everything from
Awesome.
Tiffany to Oscar de la Renta, it's all on view on campus. So, one thing that's really great about these art walks is that no matter what your flavor is in art, there's something for everybody to view. So
Sure.
if you like illustration, come and check it out. But at the same time, there's some wonderful cross-pollination, and so you can get exposed to all types of different art, all within walking distance and free and open to the public.
Awesome.
And we also will have food trucks on site and music, and also student demonstrations for our figure enhancement workshop. Will also be
So
doing
lots
some stuff
going
too.
on.
So
Lots going on. Can't miss it. I mean, it's such a beautiful. If it's a beautiful night, even if it's raining, we've had art walks, and it's still amazing. You go inside and you just kind of get immersed in where you are.
yeah.
So I want to go back to Marcus though now, since you said you weren't participating, hands-on this year. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about the club that you're president of, please?
So the club was almost non-existent 4 years ago when the former president Matthew Troyer came in and just took it over and
He
made
was
it.
amazing.
He made it
Yes.
his, and I wanted to continue that and to be a great leader for this club, because the club is a place for like-minded individuals who have gone through these trials and tribulations serving the country, and now it's a safe place for us to take a step back and take the uniform off and actually be a part of a great community that that yourself and Tim at Ringland has kind of pulled us in and made us a part of something bigger.
Yep.
And it's very, very rewarding, and we're all so grateful to actually be a part of it.
Well, all the students are so close-knit, and I think it's just art transcends, age or, whatever other obstacles. I mean, you all have that commonality, and I think it brings everybody
Yeah.
on campus together as a group. So it's a great thing you're doing, and thank you. Thank you so much. So before we close, let's tell everybody where and when and the time so that we can run that across the bottom of
Absolutely.
the website where they can find that, Tim.
So once again, this is free and open to the public for information, maps, information about all the exhibitions I just mentioned. All you got to do is visit ringlingcollege.gallery, and all of the information is there for you. You can also call us at the college at 941-359-7563, and we're more than happy to answer any questions. And parking, hey, that's always something that people want to know, but
Yep.
wherever you find a parking spot, take it
There you
and
go.
join us. And I guarantee you that you'll have a wonderful time walking around
Yep.
at Ringling College exploring all that we have to
I'll
offer.
second that. Great. Thank you. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Coming up, I'm joined by Stephanie Sundin from the Sarasota Opera, so please stay tuned. The Sarasota Opera is known for their fantastic productions, and this season is no exception. Joining me now is Stephanie Sundin, the stage director at the Sarasota Opera, to tell us all about their ongoing fall production of The Secret Marriage. Well, Stephanie, I had the pleasure of seeing that last week, and it's fabulous.
Thank
so
you.
I
Thank
just want to
you.
say thank you. But before we start talking about the opera, you and I were talking briefly before we came on, and you have such a fascinating background. Would you mind sharing a little bit of that with our viewers?
So I was an opera singer for 25 years, and nationally and internationally, but also here in Sarasota. And when I retired from singing, I became a stage director, which I've been doing now for about 25 years. And I've had the pleasure of working in Sarasota as well as regional companies as a stage director. My husband, Victor Dorenzi, the maestro,
Yes.
has been the artistic director and principal conductor of Sarasota Opera over 40 years. So we've been involved in the opera in one way or another, together and separately, for over 40 years. And we're very glad to be with Sarasota Opera.
Wow, That's amazing. And as I said, I mean, what a dream career you've had. I mean,
Yes.
first singing and then now stage directing. I mean, it's a dream job, right?
It's a wonderful
Career,
job,
right.
absolutely.
Well, so the opera. Why this particular opera? Since it's not so well known, I hadn't really heard of it prior to, going to see it the other night.
To be honest with you, I hadn't either.
Oh gosh.
When Victor
okay.
asked me to direct it, I hadn't heard of it either. It's better known in Italy. There have been occasional performances of The Secret Marriage here in the States, but it's not a well-known piece. And I can only recommend it to everyone because it's a marvelous, funny comedy, delightful story, beautiful music. It's from the same era as Mozart, and actually the composer, Domenico Cimarosa, lived at the same time as Mozart.
Oh my gosh.
And his works were better regarded in that time period than were Mozart's.
So what would you say the music is like?
It's like Mozart.
Okay.
It's very similar. Very listenable, beautiful melodies, beautiful song, beautiful arias. It's a treasure. It really is a delightful piece. And our opening night audience really got the piece. I was so thrilled. They
Oh, gosh, yes.
responded so positively and so beautifully to the piece.
Well, I mean, in addition to the singing, their performance, they're just so real and engaged, and yes, made the audience laugh. I mean, it was great. I can't recommend it enough. But again, this is quite a diversion for you, I would think, directing a comedy. So has that been different than traditional operas?
Well, I'm helped by a wonderful cast. They all have a good sense. First of all, they of course know what all the words mean, and they can shape I've helped them shape their characters,
Okay.
and they do a wonderful job of keeping that going so we can follow the story about the secret marriage. And the audience knows from the beginning that the two people that are married secretly to each other are introduced to us at the very, very top of the
Yes.
opera. But the other four people in the story don't know about the secret marriage until the end of the opera.
Exactly.
So-
So it keeps you in suspense, and it's wonderful watching their interaction and how they have to maneuver the other characters. I don't want to give it away saying who they have to maneuver, but yeah.
Exactly. Well, there are a couple of wonderful twists and turns in the story that complicate the secret marriage, and you really wonder if this couple is going to survive their marriage.
Exactly. So, what did you find most interesting about directing this group and these characters?
The fact that all six of them are extremely important to the plot. There isn't a minor character. There are only 6 characters in the opera. We have 2 supernumeraries who act as our servants, but they don't sing. So I'm talking about the other 6 people on stage. And it's so interesting. We couldn't lose any one of them to the plot. They're all extremely important to what's going to happen. Who falls in love with the wrong person? A couple of people fall in love with the wrong person. And working all of that out has been such fun. We've had such a good time. And again, their timing is very good. They have taken direction so beautifully. It's been a joy.
That's great. That's great. Now, I had the pleasure of interviewing your husband a while back, and I had expressed to him I had never been to an opera prior to, a couple that I have seen since, before Secret Marriage. But I would recommend, if people aren't familiar with the opera, that this is a wonderful introduction.
Yes, I totally agree
Right.
with that. And something that's very important for people to know is that we have what are called surtitles. If you watch a foreign film, you see subtitles along the bottom of the
Okay.
screen. Ours are above the stage. You don't have to study Italian.
Right.
You don't have to know the story in
Yep.
advance. The story is there in our surtitles. And being drawn to the music and drawn to the story, it's a wonderful first opera. I think
It
that's a
is.
great idea.
Yep, great. Well, thank you. And when does the show, tell our viewers where they can find out more information and when the production runs through, please.
We have 3 more performances, November 8, 10, and 12. And you can go to sarasotaopera.org or call the box office.
Okay, all right. One more question. What's coming up next?
For me,
Yes.
I'm directing Madam Butterfly in the winter.
Ah, ha, ha.
And I'm really looking forward to that. I've directed it before, so
Wonderful.
I look forward to repeating that.
Great. Well, we'll have you back again. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Up next on Suncoast FYI, Ron Soto from the Sarasota Downtown Merchants Group. So don't go anywhere. Every year, the Sarasota Downtown Merchants Group transforms 5 Points Park into a Parisian-inspired outdoor marketplace named La Marché Bohemian. Here with me now is Ron Soto, owner of Soto's Optical Boutique, to give us all the important details about this annual event. Hi, Ron.
How you doing?
You've been doing this a number of years now.
Over a decade.
Over a decade.
Over a decade.
Okay, but you're not the president of the association
No,
anymore.
I'm the. I finally stepped down as being president.
Okay.
It was a one-year gig. That was 15 years ago.
Gosh, okay.
Darcy, who owns Darcy's Clothing Store on Main Street, is the new president, and Harmony, who owns Lotus, is the vice president.
Wow.
And I'm kind of gone to the fundraiser part of it.
All right. So great team. You have a great team.
We got a good team.
All right. So tell our viewers about La Marché, please.
Well, what exactly it is, it's a French flea market, and we take, or the artist, take old things and repurpose them. For instance, we had an artist there that would take old car parts and would take like a crankshaft that would come up and maybe a valve cover, and the valve cover would be the light for your desk. Pretty neat stuff. He would take old like 57 Plymouths or whatever with the old headlights like that, and that could be a light for your desk or whatever. But neat stuff.
Neat stuff. What about some of the other artists, and how many do you have?
We have around 42, I think, artists right now.
Okay.
We may have up to 50 by the time the thing comes up, because we have people every day coming into it. But they have all kinds of stuff, from clothing to hats to you name it. It's all there. Furniture, there's a little bit of everything, something for everybody.
Okay.
And it's just kind of neat to walk up and down and see all the things that they've created with the old stuff.
Yeah, and it's right in 5 Points, so it takes up the whole
Five Points Park, under the shade trees, so it's nice and cool. We have music. It's a nice place just to come over, take an hour, a couple hours, whatever. Come on out and take a look.
Okay, so what are the dates and the times? I know it's coming up. It's this weekend.
It's November the 5th.
Okay.
It goes from 10 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock. So if you're watching this on Friday, it's tomorrow.
Okay.
And if it's Saturday you're watching this, it's going on right now.
It's perfect. Get
Yeah.
down there, right?
Hurry up.
Yep. So, okay, good. And, wow, food trucks? I mean, is there other things to do
We don't
besides-
have food because we have such fantastic restaurants
There you
downtown.
go.
You can go to any of them, have a little breakfast, have a little lunch, and then stroll around through the event.
Yes, yeah. So, yes, why not just do that and take advantage of our beautiful downtown for the whole day?
Yeah. Some people kind of wonder why do we do this? We do little events like this all the time throughout the year
Yep.
to raise money. And then the money that we do raise, we end up buying Christmas ornaments. We put up all the Christmas ornaments for downtown.
It's wonderful.
So all those little snowflakes and the wreaths and stuff you see on the poles, that's actually done by our downtown merchants. The Christmas tree that you find in 5 Points Park, which is about 40 feet tall, that's all done and purchased by the downtown merchants and put up and taken down and everything else.
So that is why the Downtown Merchants Association came about, right? You wanted to better our community. Is that a good
Yes, and our
synopsis?
actual real name, even though we're the downtown merchants, our real name is the Sarasota Downtown Enrichment Association, because we try to enrich downtown.
What are some of the other things that you've done for
Well,
us?
our Christmas tree lighting will be on December the 1st, which is a Thursday night at 7 o'clock. It's not really an event, but the public, if they want to show up to watch Santa Claus and stuff, put up the, or light up the Christmas tree, fine, we encourage it. We put on this thing called New Year's Eve, the pineapple drop, every year.
So you do that as well.
It's the biggest party, literally the biggest party south of Manhattan.
Wow.
We have 3 stages this year, a little bit of something for everybody. So a place called 22N will be playing on the main stage.
Okay.
Chaz Collins, who does country. Matter of fact, he's in the top 10 artists according to the CMAs.
Wow.
And then we have Sarasota Beats on State Street. So Sarasota Beats does more of rave type of music. We have rock and roll and we have country. There's something there for everybody.
That's great.
Did I mention that we turned 5 Points Park into a carnival? So we bring in 14 different carnival rides. We have food all over the place.
And this is New Year's Eve.
This is New Year's
so
Eve.
it's a family-friendly event.
We encourage the family. The carnival opens up right around noon.
Okay.
So you can bring the kids down, have them go on the rides, and then as the night goes on, it becomes more adult from around 9 o'clock on, and of course, then the parties with the bands and everything else.
There you go. So obviously what you do is so very important to our community, not just for the upcoming event this weekend, but basically year-round. You
Year
make our-
round.
Yeah.
We put on the Sarasota Seafood Festival. We do art shows throughout the year, but it's a fun thing to do.
It
you know, and
is.
it's neat. Not everybody can afford on New Year's Eve to go out to a fancy place and spend $300
Sure.
for a plate. So this gives the average person, that plumbers, the electricians, the opticians, it gives them a place where they can come to and have a good time for not a lot of money.
There you go. Wonderful. Well, thank you, and we'll hope you have really good weather for this weekend and have a great turnout for
The
your
weather's
show.
supposed to be great, and thank you. Do you realize that this is our 4th interview for doing this?
It goes by quick, doesn't it? I mean, the years
I
just...
blink and it's tomorrow.
I know. Well, that's good and bad, but that's a different subject.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We hope you enjoyed the show today, and thank you for joining us on Suncoast Fyi. If you would like to promote your nonprofit or community event, we would love to hear from you, and this is a complimentary service. Please call our producer, Adam Huntley, at 941-361-4645 or email fyi@snnTV.com. To view previous episodes, go to snnTV.com and click on the What's On tab. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next week on Suncoast Fyi.